Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Rooster Stone Show. Ba-dum! Yeah, I got Dave Pedrick back on the show. Love to have you back, Dave.
I'm so glad to be back.
Thanks for being here.
It's always a good time. Thank you.
I'm really excited about this show because, this is our type of music here. Yeah. So we're going today with the best acoustic songs of 1970. All right, the year 1970, not the 70s.
Right.
All right, so we had to keep it confined within the year. There were so many great hits this year.
Way too many.
I mean, this was the year of the death of the Beatles. Yep. Sort of the fall of the Doors. The slow fall. So a lot of stuff happening in rock and roll, and a shift is beginning.
Big time.
Between sort of that psychedelia that was going on in the late 60s, there's a shift to get back to more rootsy music, to more earthy music. And I think you hear that across the board in 1970. And by 71, it's in full throttle.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So here it is. So we're going to give you our 6 songs that we're choosing. These are our favorite acoustic hits, the best acoustic hits of 1970. So kick us off, Dave. What do you got? What do you got for number 1?
I have a song called Into White. And I'm going to say Cat Stevens because that's the name he was going by at the time.
Sure.
So we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
T for the Tillerman is the album. It's not his first album of the year. He released 2 albums in 1970. We're talking that prolific era too, where music is constantly being released all the time. This is just one of those tunes. It sounds like 1970. It's got that sort of what he's playing with here is how all colors spin into white. Mm-hmm. So if you're an artist, we know how that works out. Mm-hmm. And he does a very lovely job of doing all the colors. And he has a cast of characters throughout, and he's building his house. And there's a story where he gets all of the colors in, and then that beautiful chorus that keeps coming back into white, kind of grounding it. And it's him up front, capo. It's Olympic Studios. It's like that classic mixing desk is there on par with Abbey Road at this point. Mm-hmm. There's this really beautiful solo violin part that if you really listen to the track, it gets panned so interestingly. It starts here and then it moves it, but it never makes it all the way over. And of course, this is on purpose. Mm-hmm. And it's just a great. Jack Rothstein is the player. He's a classical guy who's doing a lot of session stuff at this time. Mm-hmm. So it's my favorite Cat Stevens song.
Yeah, nobody paints a picture, no pun intended to the song, as vividly as Yusuf does.
Absolutely.
It's so unique, it's so utterly him that as soon as you hear the first couple notes, you already know who it is. He just does so many unique things in the way that he presents his music, both lyrically and musically.
Oh yeah. This is well thought out, and the man painted the album cover. So we're talking. You really. This is the tune that brings you in. To that.
This is a talented man, and
Yeah.
on multiple different levels, and it really comes through. T for Tillerman. I mean, that's like.
It's required listening.
You don't need to say anymore. And if you don't know much about Yusuf Islam, Cat Stevens,
man.
Just thank us later, dude. Just go down the rabbit hole. You can start with T for Tillerman. It is a great place to start.
I would start there.
Just listen to it on repeat for 3 days, and suddenly you're going to be, the Cat Stevens guy. So excellent choice.
Thank you, sir.
I knew one of us was going to pick something from Yusuf, but I'm glad that it was you because that's a great choice too.
Thank you.
I'm rolling with my first song to the final album from Simon and Garfunkel, 1970s Bridge Over Troubled Water. There are massive hits on this album, but I'm going with The Only Living Boy in New York. I used to listen to this album when I was a kid. I got it right here. All right. I can't pan it for you, but my somewhat inadequate record collection. Every song, again, on this album, to me, is a masterpiece. The Simon and Garfunkel duo had been around since the 1950s, where they began their career under the pseudonym Tom and Jerry. This song is a heartfelt goodbye to Art Garfunkel, Tom, who was just embarking on a career change. He was leaving the group to become an actor. Paul Simon, Jerry, was experiencing the loneliness of having to trudge on in his musical career without his longtime partner and friend. They had already been a working duo at this point for almost 15 years. So, I mean, they met in elementary school.
Yeah.
So there's just something about this song. The delicately strummed guitar, the ethereal church organ droning quietly in the background, Paul's beautiful light tenor, sometimes shaking emotionally from the heartbreak. This is really a love song to his friend.
Yeah.
You know, a love song to those tricky moments in any true friendship when letting them go to do their own thing without you is the kindest, most loving thing that you can do, no matter how much it hurts. This is one of my favorite songs ever.
I know it is. I miss playing this one with you because this is one of, oh man, this is, you know how much I love this track.
Yeah.
For all the reasons. And I'll give Roy Halley, the producer, I mean, these guys were chasing the Beatles in the sound that they were going for. They got it all together on this album. You got everything, the plaintive guitar, you got the big, they're in the echo chamber, literally, like making with the part on this tune. But you're right, it's a love song. It's a love song to a friend, also feeling a little uneasy, like, oh, I know you're eager to fly, and you know, so you're almost a small talk. I know it's time to go, but my heart's breaking kind of vibe.
Yeah,
and it comes across perfectly. Yeah.
And you know, in retrospect, it worked out okay for Paul.
Yeah, he did all right.
You know, Paul did okay.
I didn't see a GoFundMe for him anyway.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it worked out as well as Art would have wanted it to in terms of his acting career, but
well said.
Acting careers can be fickle. Yeah. And it certainly doesn't take away the man's talent, which is undeniable as a singer. I mean, the Bridge Over Troubled Water, the title song, which is one of the most popular songs of all time.
Yeah,
that's Art. He can sing.
Yeah.
So,
and it was Song of the Year in '70 for that reason.
Yeah.
It's that good.
So there it is. There's my first tune, right? See, I told you, this is like one after another, like knocking them out of the park. So hit us up with number 2.
I'm going with Big Yellow Taxi. Joni Mitchell, the Ladies of the Canyon record. You know, the first Earth Day is the month that this song comes out. You know, so this is, again, this reeks in all the good ways of 1970. We've got DDT. We're talking about paving a parking lot, putting trees in a tree museum.
Yeah. It's a shame no one listened.
Yeah. And it's a hook. You know, Joni Mitchell, for all of the beauty and intricacies, this isn't one. It's Strumalicious. She's just pounding out just a really good pop tune. Yeah. But then with the little, you know, kind of ha, the laughing at the end, this melody is so underrated. And if anybody's ever tried to sing this song, this is not an easy song to sing. Again, she's got this huge kind of range. She does this really... these intervallic leaps that shouldn't work. Yeah. Typical Joni, like this shouldn't work, and yet it does. Yeah, and this is most people's gateway into Joni, you know, because it was such a powerful tune. But it is of its time.
It's still a powerful tune.
Oh, I agree.
Still has the same power that it did. It's almost like the Lorax. The first time you read that, it's got the same power of she's trying to shake us awake. Her voice, I mean,
this whole album is so underrated too. And this is a time, I mean, Our House is out this year. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in Laurel Canyon at this point.
Yeah.
Tapestry is out this year. So like when people are talking about coming home and leaving, doesn't anyone stay in one place anymore. A lot of home things are happening in 70. That, to your point earlier, when we get to 71, that the singer-songwriter era is now beginning.
Yeah.
People are staying home and writing. It's not
they're
just
waking
all touring,
up.
and it's less loud. Things are getting less loud,
and they're waking up from there's a hangover period there. And you brought up a good point too, that Carole King was hard to keep off of this list. I know. So I'm still kind of half regretting it.
Yeah.
So
now that I just said that out loud, I am too. She was on the long list.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Yeah. Just her voice. I can't get enough of it. So excellent tune. Good choice.
Thank you.
So for my second song, going back to for me on my list, truly acoustic. I mean, it really is just the man and his guitar. Is If You Could Read My Mind by Gordon Lightfoot. So Gordon Lightfoot was an acoustic powerhouse in the 70s. And he's just kind of getting started here. You know, he had been around for a couple years, but he was just getting started here. His flawless baritone voice is one of the most recognizable voices of that era. His 1976 hit, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, is still played on radio stations all over the country daily. Daily. But this melancholy ballad about two lovers breaking up has always been one of my favorite songs from him. The melody, the bridge, bridge.
Yeah, great bridge.
The simple but powerful lyrics. Every couple years, this song gets sort of back in my head, and I'll listen to it like 8 times in a row. I used to love performing this song at my quieter, subtler gigs over the years. I just love to sing this song.
It's a fun song to sing.
It's just everything about it is it's a textbook example of a great song.
Yeah.
In every measurable category.
I like that we have 2 Canadians in a row back to back on this between Joni and Gordon.
Yeah.
And this album has me and Bobby McGee on it too. So it was a country hit originally. Mm-hmm. So this is right before the version that most people know,
right?
Which is not the Gordon Lightfoot version. But the whole album is packed. You're right. Things are really about to happen. But this is a standout track, and yet that bridge, and it's the delivery. He sells it. He's just singing it so beautifully.
He is, and you can hear. There's something personal going on for him in this song.
Yeah,
and it's so applicable to everyone. You get involved in a relationship with someone, and sometimes you don't even know why it's over. It's just over.
Right.
And that's what this is talking about. You don't even know. You can't even say this is the moment it happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 100 little cuts.
Exactly.
That just, I really have a lot of admiration for this man and this song and his catalog.
I was just thinking too, not to have possibly misspoke with me and Bobby. That's not a Gordon Lightfoot song. It's a co-write with Chris Christopherson.
Sure.
But just that it's on that. This is the album that it ends up on after it's already a country hit.
Yeah.
Like it's going to find its way.
Yeah.
Before it
into
becomes
mainstream sort of.
But this
hive mind
classic song.
Yeah.
Lovely selection.
Yeah. So there it is. That's my number 2. All right, man. You got your last song. We're here already. It's here.
It's
a good one.
Number 3 is from.
Still salty about this one.
Number 3 album. That's the Way. Led Zeppelin. From Led Zeppelin 3. Probably my favorite Led Zeppelin song. It's the first one that just you care.
Yeah.
What's even happening here? That it's got that open G strummings going. There's a plosive on the first time he says play.
Mm-hmm.
I can't play with you no more, and it just never will be. I hope that never gets fixed. So it's got there's no mistakes in the track, but it's very human. They're in Wales. They take a little walk, Jimmy and Robert, and this is the song that comes out, and they're all these dulcimers are coming out and mandolins, and that's what it is. It just the lyrics are kind of weird, It's I gotta tell you, sorry, I can't play with you anymore. Maybe my parents don't like me hanging out with, and then that goes all the way through. I think more to the rock thing that they were thrust into and how they're feeling on tour. And it's 1970 when you're walking in. Bob Seger writes about it not too long after. And who's this long-haired? That everybody wasn't real happy that the long-haired rock band was coming to town.
Yeah.
So it's that juxtaposed with his sort of childhood. And I don't know how they got it done that quickly, but that's how they worked back then.
Well, and, thinking about it too, this is now their 3rd album in, a little over a year.
Oh, yeah.
And so this band is just getting humming. And Led Zeppelin 3 is by far my favorite Led Zeppelin album. It's the acoustic album. It's the one everyone thought, what are they doing?
Right.
And
sacrilege.
Yeah. And to me, it was like, yes, I like what they're doing here. And I kind of, I felt like they knew we all yearned for a little more because they'd give us sort of these little acoustic gems on later albums, but they never sort of made one like this again. And there's just something about the song choices, how they're putting old standards on.
Yeah.
And I just love this tune, love his voice on it.
Yeah, great vocal. Incredible vocal on this one.
He's got such a nice, sweet voice, and it so rarely got a chance to be heard. And, this was sort of like that precursor to Stairway to Heaven in terms of you get to hear him sweetly, and then, anyway. Such a
We
great
could talk
song.
about this album all day.
Yeah, we could. Well, let's just have an episode about "That's the Way."
Yeah, we should.
Or we could do a retro album review of Led Zeppelin 3, and then we could have our day in the sun with it.
I think we've listened to it enough times that we
could probably just start one right now.
Right, exactly.
But hey, so my last song, here it is. All right, and I went a little super obvious here for me. Anyone that knows me,
Yeah.
I'm going to choose "My Sweet Lord," George Harrison. "All Things Must Pass." George Harrison. I feel like it's like I'm only comfortable to talk about the Beatles when you're on the show. It's so funny. George Harrison got to the end of the Beatles, and in retrospect, I feel like he was the only one that was just getting started.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was just amping everything up to get his music out there. All Things Must Pass is a musical journey that is worthy of your attention. This is the second song. It's so George. He was a deeply spiritual man, and he was on a quest his whole life for answers. He never tried to hide that either. I really admire that about this man.
Yeah.
That he never tried to hide the fact that he didn't know where he fit in the world.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he wanted answers, but he never found them. And I guess we're not meant to find them, maybe. But from a personality standpoint, he is the Beatle I most identify with. This song, though, from the moment that it starts with that deep strum, and then he gives you one of George's signature slide guitar licks.
Oh, yeah.
Then his strained voice. I mean, that voice is, you can hear the desperation.
Yeah, indeed.
Of him. I just need you to let me see you, to let me feel your presence in my life. And, this is a man writing a very personal song to his creator. It's both beautiful and compelling. It's often forgotten that George was essentially murdered. I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
He died from complications of injuries sustained protecting his wife from a home invader at the end of 1999. And he didn't die until November of 2001. Right. But those injuries that he sustained in that home invasion are the reason he died.
He was stabbed many, many, many times.
And so I've always thought to myself, wow, the Beatles, the biggest group ever, and two of the members were murdered.
Yeah, the violence.
That's crazy, especially from a group of people that preached so much peace. And it just says something disquieting about the world we live in. I've always wondered how he would have reacted to sort of this post 9/11 world, because, obviously he died right after 9/11.
Yeah, November, right.
Not too quietly, I'd imagine.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
He was sort of an outspoken guy. I don't think he would have liked the direction the world has gone in since that moment.
Agreed.
Anyway.
Yeah, I always liked the song. Of course, I have to bring up the lawsuit, because he was sued about the He's So Fine, the Chiffons song, which is worth looking up. I think it was like $587,000. I forget the exact number. Alan Klein is involved. He ends up buying the song back anyway. Like, the lawsuit goes on all the way through the early 80s, 80 or 81. But it's one of those, to your earlier point, he's so engrossed in it, you're not realizing that you're kind of ripping this other song off. Like, it came to him so naturally that way. Then, of course, later you're thinking, oh, I never really thought. I guess it does sound like that. And it wasn't that too long before that John Lennon was ripping off Chuck Berry with Come Together. So, like, they're riding. This is a new shift in what you can get away with calling your own.
Right.
Basically. But this is a heartfelt song, and it was a hit for a reason. Yeah.
You don't want to destroy a band's legacy or their sort of like, their sort of enshrinement as deities of popular culture. But this is not the first song by a Beatle where this was happening. If you look back and you start digging deeper into their music, there's a lot of derivative stuff there.
Oh, absolutely.
And some, on more than one occasion, some blatant ripoffs.
Oh, big time. Big time.
And so it is what it is. But, we're having a lot of these conversations now.
That's why I'm glad to be bringing it up, because it's that era, the window is closing on ownership in general.
Where do you draw the line to, at the end of the day, where's the line drawn? Because you have this situation where it's like, okay, 1, 4, 5, 6. That's the recipe for the song, right? I mean, so where do you draw the line? I mean, particularly the further back you go, and if you want to make the clear demarcation between rock music and rock and roll, which I always do, because they're, in my mind, two very different movements.
Very different.
Where do you draw that line? I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either.
And how many times is it accidental because of that? This is the recipe for the song, man.
And this was accidental. And it was admittedly, involuntarily, whatever the word was they used. I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, it's not a malicious thing.
Right. Lennon had intent. Here come old Flat Top, and he's doing, this is pretty much like, I'm going to just take Chuck's tune here and see what I can get away with. And that was more John. George would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even think I was doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, what different personalities.
Exactly.
So there it is. To me, it doesn't take anything away from the song.
Oh, no, not at all. It still holds up on its own.
I love the message of it. I love the layering of it. I just feel like this is a moment for George. He's free to talk about the things that he wants to talk about and to write the songs that he wants to write about. And, if you're a listener, this is my personal opinion, but this is the best of the solo Beatle albums.
Very few people would argue against that statement.
I think it's so much better.
It's my personal favorite as well.
It's so much better. And again, you can attribute that to sort of the buildup of songs over the years, because that's how he talked about it. I just had all these songs, and it's just like, well, now that that's over, here they are.
Right.
So this is a good tune. There's a lot of other great songs on this album. This is just the one I chose because it's kind of acoustic based.
Got 3 sides of them.
Yeah, there it is. All right, man, dude, there it is. I can't believe it. These are our 6 songs from 1970. If you have songs, tell us what you think they are. What did we miss? And trust me, we already have a long list of songs we missed.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about only doing 6 is that we can come back and do, our favorite acoustic songs from 1970 in like 2 years.
The sequel.
And it'll be all totally different songs. And we'll still have a good show.
Agreed.
So thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to Rooster Stone across all social media platforms, whatever. Don't forget to check out davidpedrick.com to listen to his outstanding collection of original music and to read his blog, which is quite an interesting read.
Thank you.
So check it out, and hopefully we'll see you back again next time. Thanks a lot for sticking around. If you're here till the end, don't forget about peace and one love. Come on over to roosterstone.com, where you can book the band for any event you can imagine. Acoustic, full band, whatever your event may require. You can also email us to take online music lessons at an affordable monthly price. Don't forget to download our original music and like, follow, and subscribe to Rooster Stone across all social media platforms. Keep rocking out at roosterstone.com.